5 years old saving the world from nightmare in one night that was think that he was gonna be evil but they were wrong, he is the first saver the first, this is the dream of dreams final story. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Muhammad Hassan. He was 5 years old and lived happily with his family. One night, after a warm dinner and bedtime stories, Muhammad went to sleep. But something strange happened. He dreamed that it was nighttime again, only now he was 4 years old. In this dream, little Muhammad fell asleep once more. And dreamed he was 6.5, almost 7 years old. Everything in the dream world moved quickly, an hour felt like a minute, and a whole day passed in just 24 minutes. Time spun faster and faster as Muhammad kept dreaming. In one dream, he became just 2 years old again. It was still night, and feeling small and sleepy, he walked to his mother and asked, "Mama, can I sleep with you?" She smiled and said, "Of course, Habibi," then told him a gentle story about the best dream ever. As she spoke, Muhammad's eyes closed again, and the dream continued. Suddenly, he found himself in a dark, strange house, the house of a robber. Muhammad searched for his parents, but instead, he saw something frightening. The robber was doing scary experiments on a crying child. Right before his eyes, the child turned into a monster. The monster broke free and saw Muhammad. It let out a terrible growl and started chasing him. Muhammad ran as fast as he could and hid under a bed. He could hear the monster sniffing around, looking for him, whispering, "I want to eat you." But thankfully, it didn't find him. As the evening came, the robber and the monster went out to hurt people and capture more children for their terrible experiments. Muhammad carefully explored the house and found a laboratory. Inside, he saw a trapped bunny and a small dog, both looking scared. He pressed a big red button by mistake, and the two animals suddenly fused into a strange creature. "Oh no!" he cried as the creature chased him around the lab. But Muhammad was clever. He lured the creature back to the machine and pressed another button to separate them again. The bunny and dog were free and happy. Nearby, Muhammad found a strange piece of paper. It had instructions to redo the experiments. As he read it, a trapdoor opened under him, and he fell. But before he hit the ground, he fell asleep again. This time, he woke up as if nothing had happened. The trap was gone, the paper was unread, and he was safe. Suddenly, he saw something strange. The robber's boss, a serious-looking man, watching everything from far away, along with his son and daughter, who were spying too. Before Muhammad could say a word, he felt sleepy again. He closed his eyes and dreamed one more time. Now, he was a very old man, on the last day of his life. He smiled, remembering everything he'd seen and done. Then he closed his eyes once more and dreamed of the first day of his life, when he was just a baby. And finally, Muhammad woke up from all the dreams. He was back in his cozy bed. It was morning. The sun was shining through the window. Muhammad sat up, picked up the Quran, and began to read, feeling thankful for the wild, magical journey through the dreams that had taught him so much. Muhammad Hassan was thirsty in his room, his throat dry as if he hadn't spoken or moved in hours. He stood up from his bed and opened the door, expecting to step into the hallway for a glass of water. Instead, he found himself staring at his own room again. Confused, he turned around, crossed the space, and pulled open another door, relieved to see the familiar tiles of the bathroom, until a low growl rose behind him. A scary dog stood in the middle of the room, its eyes glowing unnaturally as it stared at him without moving. Muhammad Hassan blinked in fear, and in that split second, the dog vanished as if it had never existed. Suddenly, a noise echoed from the bathroom. Before he could react, the dog stepped out of the darkness again, only to disappear once more like a glitch in reality. The light above him began flickering rapidly, slicing the room into pieces of brightness and shadow. Black and white silhouettes drifted across the walls, stretching and shrinking like living shapes. Then, a faint, distorted music seeped into the air, low and unsettling, as if someone was playing it through a broken speaker. Finally, a voice whispered, "You're not alone," but the sound came from everywhere at once, making it impossible to know who, or what, said it. Puzzle number 1 began when he tried the door again, only for it to spit him right back into the same space, as though the world itself was caught in a perfect, cruel loop. Every time he opened a new door, the room stayed the same, but the door would appear in a different place, sliding along the walls like it was alive and trying to hide from him. Meanwhile, strange, twisted sounds echoed from impossible directions, whispers behind him when no one was there, creaking above him as if the ceiling were breathing, and slow, deliberate footsteps that didn't belong to him or to the dog. Still, he kept pushing forward, heart pounding, praying that one door, just one, would finally break the loop and lead him out of this shifting, haunted space. Wake up, only a 4D dream, said Muhammad Hassan. He wanted to drink some water, so he opened the door to get some. He drank the water and fell asleep, dreaming of the second puzzle. Still thirsty. Still, you need to guess, I'm here, who am I? I'm stuck with you forever until you guess who I am. These words kept repeating in his mind. In the second puzzle, he needed to prepare a game called hide and seek. When he finished, a hole opened under him, and he fell. He felt he was going up, but he was going down, and he ended up like he was going up the whole time. After that, he started seeing 4D 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 everywhere. He woke up from the dream in the robber's house in front of the robber. The robber said find the missing key to get out of the room. The robber had the key. Muhammad Hassan was looking everywhere, but he found only dust. You lost, said the robber. Now wake up, wake up, wake up. You are dreaming in a dream in a dream in a dream in a 4D dream. All is connecting up when you wear apple to see how you were when born. Dreaming is your power, so wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. You're not real, you're not real, you're not real, you're not real. 4D 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 stuck in a loop. Wake up, the robber is real. Black and white is how you are made. You don't know what's real, it was a lie, you're not 5, but in the negatives. I can control your mind. Wake up, I'm alive, said Muhammad Hassan. I'm hallucinating 5D. From the moment Muhammad Hassan was born, he didn't just sleep, he entered the dreaming. But something was wrong inside his dreams. A monster appeared. It looked like the same creature once created by a mysterious figure known only as Minsko the robber, a being who stole and corrupted dreams for his own control. Terrified, Muhammad ran through shifting dreamlands until something clicked in his mind. He wasn't just inside dreams. He could control them. The moment he realized this, the nightmare paused. From the distance, a figure emerged, Minsko himself. Behind him stood a massive glowing structure, the door to the history of dreams, where every dream ever created was stored. Muhammad ran for it. Let me in, he shouted. Minsk blocked him. This door is not for you. Then a deeper voice echoed behind everything. A master beyond Minsk spoke. This door was never opened to him. You failed. The pressure of the dreaming shook. Minsk panicked. I'm sorry, please. But the system of dreams did not forgive failure easily. Then everything shifted. Muhammad felt something awaken inside him. If this is the world of dreams, then I challenge you, he said. I dare you to fight me. Minsk's master laughed. Fine, then begin. The war at the door of history. The battlefield became a maze of collapsing dream layers. Minsko attacked first, twisting illusions, rewriting space, turning fear into weapons. But Muhammad adapted. Every strike he faced, he understood. Every illusion, he named. And every name stripped it of power. The fight escalated beyond the dreaming into higher layers of reality. Then the true ruler appeared, Nyx, the boss of corrupted dreams. Nyx merged with broken nightmares, becoming something beyond form, beyond logic. You cannot win in my domain, Nyx said. But Muhammad stepped forward. I don't need your domain. I only need clarity. He pushed forward with speed and precision, breaking through illusion after illusion until even Nyx began to lose control of the dream structure. Nyx tried one last move. Go to the 5th dimension. Reality shattered. The 5D dream war. In the 5th dimension, everything existed at once. Past, future, memory, and possibility folding into itself. Nyx unleashed chaos, reshaping entire timelines into attacks. Muhammad almost broke under the weight of infinite outcomes, but instead, he stabilized his mind. He stopped reacting. He started choosing. He turned fear into structure, illusion into pathways, chaos into order. Step by step, he dismantled Nyx's control. Finally, with a single decisive strike of will, he broke the core of Nyx's dream body. The corruption collapsed. Silence spread through the 5D realm. Muhammad stood alone. After the dream war, the dreaming stabilized. The door to the history of dreams closed safely. Minsk's influence faded into memory. Nyx was no longer a ruler, only a warning of what happens when dreams lose balance. Muhammad Hassan woke up, breathing heavily. But something had changed. He was no longer just someone who dreamed. He was someone who could protect dreams themselves. And somewhere deep in the restored dreaming, even the nightmares were learning how to behave. Muhammad Hassan, you know nothing until now. No one has died yet. Everything so far has been a dream. In this dream, no one can truly die or feel pain. But now, let's bring it into reality. Muhammad Hassan escapes from the dream, afraid that real pain could trigger another nightmare, a nightmare within a dream. Muhammad Hassan was running until he realized there were no more footsteps. A strange voice echoed, telling him, you don't have the power. I am the dream speaking to your hallucinating mind. Muhammad kept running through the silver streets of the sleeping city until the footsteps behind him vanished. A voice unfolded from the walls. You hear silence now because silence owns the path. Muhammad turned slowly, but the sky bent like glass and the stars moved in impossible 5D patterns. You don't have the power, the voice whispered. I am the dream speaking through your hallucinating mind. The buildings twisted upward into floating clocks while shadows walked backwards through time. Muhammad touched the air and saw memories opening like doors inside other memories. Every step you took, the dream said, was inside me before you were even born. Suddenly, gravity shattered, and Muhammad drifted between glowing dimensions where his reflections argued with each other. The dream laughed softly. This is not fear anymore, this is the awakening of the fifth dimension. And as the universe folded around him, Muhammad Hassan finally stopped running and stepped deeper into the unknown. Muhammad Hassan stood alone in the abandoned street while thunder rolled across a broken purple sky. The dream appeared in front of him as a shifting shadow with 1,000 glowing eyes. You can't escape me, the dream said, its voice echoing from every direction at once. Muhammad clenched his fists, breathing hard, carrying every real-life pain inside him like armor. The ground cracked open into endless floating dimensions, twisting reality into chaotic 5D waves. The dream attacked first, bending time so Muhammad saw his fears replay around him again and again. But Muhammad pushed forward through the illusions, shouting, pain made me stronger than your darkness. Every punch shattered another layer of the dream world, sending sparks across the collapsing sky. The dream screamed as the dimensions folded inward, losing control of its own nightmare maze. And in the final moment, Muhammad Hassan stepped through the breaking illusion and faced reality without running. No one died, the dream said. Do you remember the hide-and-seek game you played? Let's play hide-and-seek. I seek you hide, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Muhammad Hassan was running in fear. He won't see the dream cause it's a dream. The dream catches him super fast. Then Muhammad Hassan said it was a nightmare. The pain was rising every second. He was close to death. Then he fell asleep in a dream. He had power. Not for long. The dream used every power he had to let him wake up. He was dying. Then he trapped himself by his power. His plan to kill Muhammad Hassan while he was sleeping. He start to hear you will behave now or never logging everywhere in blood. He was scared that he woke up immediately. He saw the dream I dead and he felt he won until he rarity. It's still night time at 2:59 a.m. He was shocked. He slept for 30 seconds at 3 a.m. Muhammad Hassan woke up in complete darkness, his heartbeat shaking the silence of the room after the nightmare finally ended. The dream had chased him through impossible 5D worlds filled with twisted shadows, broken memories, and voices that felt too real to ignore. But now the nightmare was dead before it could control him completely. The air felt heavy, the clock glowed red beside his bed, and the silence after the chaos felt stranger than the dream itself. Muhammad sat still, staring into the darkness, wondering if the dream had truly disappeared, or if a small piece of it was still hiding somewhere inside reality. Daytime came as no one was in the house. All was dead by Muhammad Hassan. He looked at the camera, and he said, it wasn't me, so I'm not the only one in this house. Why? Muhammad Hassan froze in front of the security monitor, unable to breathe properly as the footage replayed itself again and again. The morning sunlight entered through the curtains, but the light felt cold, almost fake, as though the house itself refused to accept daytime. Every room around him was silent. No laughter, no footsteps from his family. No sound except the soft electrical buzzing from the camera system. On the screen, Muhammad watched himself walking slowly through the hallway during the night. His movements looked unnatural, too smooth, too empty. His head tilted slightly downward while his arms hung beside him without motion, almost like a puppet being dragged through invisible strings. Muhammad stared harder at the screen, trying to remember any part of the night after waking up at 3 a.m. Nothing. His chest tightened. I didn't do this, he whispered. The footage suddenly glitched. Static swallowed the image for a split second before another figure appeared behind him. Tall, dark, distorted. It looked human, but its proportions bent in impossible ways, like reality itself could not fully contain it. Its arms looked too long. Its shadow stretched across the walls even though there was no light behind it. Worst of all, its face could not stay still. Every frame changed it slightly, as if the camera itself was struggling to understand what it was seeing. Muhammad stumbled backwards from the monitor. No. The image vanished. The footage returned to normal. But Muhammad could still feel the figure watching him through the screen. His breathing became faster as he turned away from the monitor and looked around the empty living room. Chairs were overturned. A broken glass rested near the kitchen doorway. The front door was slightly open, allowing cold air to drift into the house. Mama. He called weakly. No answer. Baba. Only silence. The silence felt wrong, not peaceful. Listening, Muhammad grabbed the edge of the table to steady himself. His mind replayed everything from the dreams. The robber's house, the monster experiments, the endless looping rooms, the voices whispering wake up, wake up, wake up, the impossible 5D dimensions folding over themselves like living thoughts. He remembered fighting Nyx, the ruler of corrupted dreams. He remembered destroying the nightmare. But now doubt crawled into his mind. What if the dream never ended? A noise echoed upstairs. Creak. Muhammad's head snapped upward. Another creak followed, slow and deliberate. Footsteps. Not rushed, not hiding, walking. The sound crossed the upstairs hallway directly above him. Muhammad backed away slowly, every muscle trembling. This isn't real, he whispered to himself. This is another layer, another dream. Then the television switched on by itself. The loud burst of static nearly made him jump out of his skin. Black and white noise filled the screen. Then words slowly appeared across the static. You brought something back. Muhammad stared in horror. No, the message vanished. The television changed to live camera footage from his bedroom. His blood froze. The screen showed Muhammad asleep in bed only a few hours earlier. But he was not alone. Standing beside the bed was the dark figure from the hallway footage. Watching him, not moving, the figure slowly leaned closer toward sleeping Muhammad while the camera image distorted violently around it. Then the figure turned its head directly toward the camera. Toward him, the screen exploded into static. All the lights in the house flickered at once. On. Off. On off. Darkness swallowed the room for half seconds at a time, each blackout feeling longer than the last. During one flicker, Muhammad thought he saw someone standing in the doorway of the kitchen. When the lights returned, nothing was there. He stumbled backwards. This isn't happening. A low laugh echoed from upstairs. Not loud, not human. It sounded layered, like many voices speaking together from underwater. Muhammad's fear turned into panic. He rushed toward the front door, grabbed the handle, and pulled. Locked. His eyes widened. No, no, no. He unlocked it and yanked again. The door opened only slightly before slamming shut by itself with impossible force. The entire house shook. Then the whisper came again. You wanted reality. Muhammad spun around. Nobody stood behind him, but the whisper continued from every direction at once. You escaped the dreaming, but dreams leave fingerprints. The walls creaked. The lights dimmed until the entire house became gray and colorless. Black and white shadows stretched unnaturally across the ceiling. Muhammad's heartbeat thundered in his ears. What are you? He shouted. The television turned on again instantly. This time, the screen showed the security footage from only seconds ago. Muhammad watched himself standing frozen in the living room. But behind camera Muhammad stood the dark figure. Closer now, its head tilted unnaturally. Then, on the screen only, the figure raised one long arm and pointed upward. Toward the second floor. A loud thud shook the ceiling above him. Muhammad nearly screamed. Another thud followed. Something heavy was moving upstairs. Then came dragging sounds. Slow, wet, deliberate. Muhammad's legs weakened, but he forced himself toward the staircase. Every instinct screamed at him to run outside, but another feeling pulled him upward, the desperate need to know what was real. Step by step, he climbed. The air upstairs felt colder. The hallway lights flickered weakly. Family photographs lined the walls, but every face inside them had become blurred beyond recognition. Muhammad stared at a picture of himself as a child. His face was completely blackened. Another whisper crawled through the hallway. Who are you really? The bedroom door at the end of the hall slowly creaked open. Inside the room was darkness. Complete darkness, but Muhammad could hear breathing from within. Slow breathing, waiting. He reached for the light switch beside the door. Click, nothing. The breathing stopped. Silence. Then two pale eyes opened deep inside the darkness. Muhammad froze completely. The eyes blinked once. Then the dark figure stepped forward. Its body bent incorrectly, moving with impossible angles like broken frames from a corrupted video. Its face shifted constantly between different expressions, smiling, screaming, empty, crying, never staying the same for more than a second. Muhammad stepped backwards. You're dead, he whispered. I destroyed you. The figure tilted its head. You destroyed fear, it replied softly. Not me. Its voice sounded exact. Impossible geometry. The figure smiled wider. You still think you woke up. The floor beneath Muhammad cracked open into darkness. He fell instantly, downward, but the sensation felt wrong. like falling upward and downward at the same time. Around him flashed fragments of every dream he had ever seen. The robber's laboratory, the monster child, the looping doors, Nyx, the hide-and-seek countdown, the glowing 5D dimensions, his family smiling at dinner, the red 3 a.m. clock, the whispering shadows. All connected, all unfinished. Then, through the endless void, Muhammad heard the same words repeating over and over. Wake up, wake up, wake up, but this time, another voice answered from somewhere deeper. No, Muhammad opened his eyes suddenly. He was back in bed. The digital clock beside him read 2:59 a.m. His room was silent. Normal, safe. Muhammad breathed heavily and looked around in terror. Then, slowly, from the darkness near his bedroom door, came the sound of soft breathing. Not his breathing, someone else's, and a familiar voice whispered gently. Round 2. I want to tell you, Muhammad Hassan, our secret room with hundreds of thousands of millions of billions of trillions of quadrillions of noillions of sexillion of septillion of abinillions of what fail experiments and 2 good ones that they will fight you now. Muhammad Hassan blinked, unsure if what he was seeing was real. The voice, familiar and haunting, came from the shadows. It was the robber, the one everyone thought long gone. But here he was, or at least his ghostly form, guiding Muhammad through the secret room in a world that felt both vivid and unreal. This is my secret, Muhammad, the robber whispered, his voice echoing as if from far away. You're not really here, you're dreaming, and I want to show you what you're truly capable of. Suddenly, the jars and machines shuddered. The failed experiments burst free, swirling into monstrous shapes, their forms towering and wild. Two successful creations stood by Muhammad's side, glowing with determination. The monsters lunged, but Muhammad found himself moving with a power he'd never known. Every leap, dodge, and clever move sent the monsters tumbling back. The 2 good creations helped, their skills and energy woven with his own. One by one, the monsters faded away, dissolving into harmless wisps of smoke. At last, the room grew quiet. The robber's ghostly face smiled with pride. You see, Muhammad, even in your darkest moments, you have the strength to overcome anything. Remember this when you wake. Light filled the room, and as Muhammad's eyes opened to the real world, he carried with him the courage and hope of his victory, ready to face whatever came next. Muhammad Hassan finally understood. The dreams, the robber, the monsters, and the endless dimensions were not enemies trying to destroy him, they were pieces of fear he had never faced. Standing in the fading darkness, he chose courage over panic. The shadows dissolved, the strange voices fell silent, and the looping worlds closed forever. When morning arrived, Muhammad stepped outside into the sunlight, grateful for his family, his life, and reality itself. At last, the dreaming released him, and peace remained for all time. The end. Wow, that was a good story, said Ahmed. I wonder if it real or not. I don't believe it. When he said it, the dream started. Ahmed woke up in a room where he found Muhammad Hassan stuck in a dream cage. Muhammad tell Ahmed what happened, that he killed all of the monsters and killed the rulers before him. Ahmed asked him, so how you were traps? He said, because the 6th ruler arved he wake up the others and trapped me the devil and you. Ahmed, you are thr 7th ruler. I will give you all the power you need, and can you let me out please? He said, sure, why not? First saver. Muhammad Hassan froze in place because he finally know his nickname that was important. When Ahmed freed Muhammad, Muhammad ran to get his nickname card because without it he won't be a load in the holes. Took Ahmed in the history of the dreams to show him what real and what's fake. So Ahmed found one. It was his dream. He entered it before Muhammad Hassan say no don't. He entered his own dream in a 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 dream. Muhammad Hassan helped him and gave him his nickname Mr. 7 only 1 minute. In a dream he got his own nickname. He was the one. The king of the dreams came to give him the crown of the first nickname gotten. Muhammad Hassan got angry and made a fight. Ahmed punched him. Got angry and made a fight. Ahmed punched him cause he was the second king and told Mohammed Hassan, what happened to you body? He replied, he got out of control, he was tired and insane. Ahmed also wanted to let him a king, but he was stopped from the first king. Muhammad helped him and knocked of the first king. Then the devil came from killing monsters, kicking Muhammad Hassan by his leg to his face and ate the first king and took the king rule from Ahmed and let him stuck in a loop of dreams. Muhammad Hassan strict, but he was too slow for the devil. Then he told them his name, the El Hasha Hashji Hashi Hashar Star Logger the killer, the one and only death. They were in danger. The rules break. He said it was the dream of dreams. Nightmare. Muhammad said the nightmare. You made the nightmare. The dream of dreams. It's horror. You made it for everyone to feel that they aren't alone. The nightmare is with them. The devil felt sleepy and slept. Muhammad Hassan thought he won, but before he could kill him the monsters arrived. It was a fight of life and death. Ahmed woke up getting pounced in the face. Muhammad got his the dream of dreams sword, but he was too weak for them. One flied to his stomach, letting him fly. He passed the sword to Ahmed that was able to kill one of them, and he ride one. He let him fly to the wall and dead. He had the confidence. Then Muhammad jumped in, kicking one in the head. Then the devil kill Muhammad Hassan. The devil was the first successful experiment. The Ahmed zoomed in and killed the devil, killing the rest of the monsters. Then he cried because the devil killed his only friend. He had to help him, so he entered a dream finding a girl crying. He decided to help her. Then she turned into a demon. Ahmed pounced her in the face, but he was too weak for her. Then she kicked him in the face, so he took out the shroud and killed her. He escaped the dream to the second dream. In the dream he was back before the fighting. He knowed everything, so got the sword and killed the devil before the monsters. When the time for the monsters to come, a wall of swords appeared, killing all the monsters. Ahmed got out of control of all what has happened. He killed Muhammad Hassan on other adventure in the dream of dreams. The dreaming should have been silent. Instead, it breathed. Ahmed stood alone beneath a sky made of moving stars. They were not ordinary stars, but dreams that had never been dreamt, floating through endless darkness like tiny worlds waiting to be born. Around him stretched the Hall of History, a place Muhammad Hassan had once shown him before everything changed. The glowing shelves that once held the history of every dream now flickered with cracks of black light. Muhammad Hassan was gone. No footsteps, no voice, no laughter, only the sword of the first saver remained, planted deep into the silver floor. Ahmed slowly walked toward it. His reflection followed one step behind. He stopped. The reflection took another step. Ahmed stared. So, you're still here? The reflection smiled. Ahmed did not. Without warning, the reflection reached through the floor as though it were water and grabbed the sword before Ahmed could touch it. The hall shook violently. No. Ahmed jumped forward. The reflection pulled the sword free. A deep horn echoed across the dreaming. Every star above suddenly went dark. Far away, beyond the endless halls, gigantic stone gates slowly opened for the first time since the first dream war. One gate, then another, then another. 7 ancient gates, each one carried the symbol of a forgotten ruler. A voice rolled through existence itself. The thrones have awakened. Ahmed looked around. Who's there? No answer came. Instead, footsteps echoed from every direction. 1, 2, 3, hundreds, thousands. Invisible figures marched across the dreaming. The floor cracked beneath Ahmed as shadows crawled through every fracture. He tightened his grip on the empty air where the sword should have been. I won't let this happen again. The reflection laughed. You already have. Suddenly, the hall shattered like glass. Ahmed fell, not downward, forward, through thousands of dreams at once. He saw children laughing, old people remembering forgotten lives, heroes defeating monsters, nightmares swallowing cities. Everything happened together. Everything was connected. Ahmed crashed onto black sand beneath a blood-red moon. The moon blinked. It had become a giant eye. Watching him, the eye spoke. Second king. Ahmed slowly stood. I stopped being a king. No. The voice echoed. You merely stopped believing. The ground split apart. 7 enormous thrones rose from beneath the sand. 6 were empty. The 7th held a figure covered completely in silver robes. Its face could not be seen. You have entered the court of forgotten sleep. Ahmed stepped backwards. I don't belong here. Neither did Muhammad Hassan. The name echoed endlessly. Muhammad, Muhammad, Muhammad. Ahmed felt his chest tighten. What happened to him? The silver figure remained silent. Finally, it answered. He still dreams. Ahmed frowned. Impossible. Nothing is impossible inside the dreaming. The eye moon closed. Darkness swallowed everything. When light returned, Ahmed stood inside a city built entirely from mirrors. Every building reflected different memories. He saw Muhammad fighting Nyx. He saw the laboratory. He saw Minsk. He saw the monsters. He saw himself receiving the title Mr. 7. Then one mirror showed something impossible. Muhammad Hassan is sitting peacefully beneath a tree. Alive. Ahmed ran toward the mirror. Muhammad. The image smiled. Then cracks spread across the glass. The reflection dissolved into smoke. No. A child appeared behind Ahmed. She wore white clothing covered with tiny golden stars. You shouldn't chase memories. Ahmed turned quickly. Who are you? My name changes every dream. Then what should I call you? She smiled. Hope. Ahmed blinked. You have a real name. So do nightmares. She began walking through the mirror city. Ahmed followed. Every street rearranged itself while they walked. Buildings folded into bridges. Bridges folded into rivers. Nothing stayed the same. Hope stopped beside a fountain flowing upward into the sky. The dreaming is sick. I know. No. She looked directly into his eyes. You don't. The fountain suddenly froze. Every drop became a floating crystal. Inside each crystal, Ahmed saw another dream collapsing. Millions of dreams. Millions of people are sleeping. Millions of nightmares spreading. It started after the devil died, Hope whispered. Ahmed looked away. I killed him. You killed one person. Ahmed's heartbeat stopped. What? Hope pointed upward. High above floated something enormous. Not a monster. Not a person. A heartbeat. A gigantic glowing heart suspended across the heavens. It beat once. The entire dreaming trembled. What is that? Hope answered quietly. The nightmare heart. Ahmed stared in disbelief. I destroyed the nightmare. No. You said. You destroyed its voice. Another heartbeat thundered. Boom. The mirror city shattered. Creatures climbed from every broken reflection. Some had no faces. Some had too many. Others wore smiling masks that cried black tears. Ahmed stepped backwards. Hope sighed. They found us. The creatures rushed forward. Ahmed raised his hands. Golden dream light burst from his palms. The first creature dissolved instantly. Another jumped. Ahmed dodged. A third swung long crystal claws. Ahmed blocked them with a shield of light. The impact shook the entire street. More creatures arrived. Hundreds. Thousands. Hope calmly sat on the edge of the frozen fountain. Aren't you helping? You must remember. Remember what? She smiled sadly. Why did Muhammad choose you? Ahmed fought harder. Every strike released waves of light. Every defeated creature became feathers drifting into the sky. Still, they kept coming. He grew tired. His breathing became heavy. His light weakened. One creature grabbed his arm. Another knocked him to the ground. A third raised enormous claws toward his face. Ahmed closed his eyes. A familiar voice whispered, "Stand up." His eyes opened instantly. Muhammad. No one stood there. Only the sword. The sword of the first saver had appeared beside him. Ahmed reached for it the moment his fingers touched the handle. Every dream in existence became silent. The sword glowed brighter than the stars themselves. The creatures froze. Even time stopped. Ahmed slowly stood. I remember. The sword answered with a voice. Then carry his hope. One swing. Nothing flashy. Nothing loud. A single clean strike. A wave of silver light expanded across the city. Every creature disappeared. Every broken mirror repaired itself. The sky turned blue for the first time. Hope smiled proudly. You finally awakened the first saver's inheritance. Ahmed looked at the sword. It belongs to Muhammad. Hope shook her head. No. She looked toward the horizon where 7 black storms gathered together. It belongs to whoever protects the dreaming. Far beyond the city, something laughed. Not the devil, not Nyx, not Minsk. Something much older. A voice deeper than time itself echoed across every dream. The first saver is gone. The 7 storms merged into one impossible shape. Eyes opened inside the clouds. Thousands of them. Then the voice spoke again. Now, let the last nightmare awaken. The laugh continued long after the sky had fallen silent. Ahmed tightened his grip around the sword of the first saver. Its silver light pushed back the darkness, but the 7 storms continued to merge until they became a single endless shadow stretching across the dreaming. Hope stared upward without fear. It has awakened. What is it? Ahmed asked. The last nightmare. The clouds opened. An eye larger than a mountain slowly appeared. Then another. Then hundreds. Each eye looked into a different dream somewhere across existence. Children sleeping peacefully suddenly began seeing the same shadow. Old people dreaming of forgotten memories saw the same glowing eyes. Even heroes who had defeated nightmares before felt something watching them. The last nightmare had no single body. It existed inside every dream at once. A voice echoed through every corner of the dreaming. I have waited since before the first dream. The ground trembled. Ancient towers rose from beneath the earth, each carved with names older than history itself. Ahmed recognized one. Muhammad Hassan. Another. Ahmed. 5 more names remained hidden beneath glowing chains. Hope whispered, those are the 7 savers. Ahmed looked confused. I thought there were 7 rulers. There were. And now, the dreaming has chosen a different path. The chains around the hidden names shattered. One tower exploded into golden light. A young warrior stepped out, wearing armor covered in symbols that changed every second. He looked at Ahmed and smiled. You finally made it. Who are you? My name has been forgotten. The warrior touched the tower. But long ago they called me the second saver. Ahmed stared. There were savers before Muhammad. No. The warrior shook his head. There were savers after him. Ahmed frowned. That doesn't make sense. Time doesn't flow normally here. The sword glowed brightly. As soon as the warrior touched it, thousands of visions flashed through Ahmed's mind. He saw distant futures. Through every future, one future remained completely black. The warrior pointed toward it. That future belongs to the last nightmare. The sky cracked. A giant hand made of living shadow reached through reality. Its fingers were longer than rivers. Each movement erased stars. Ahmed raised the sword. A beam of silver light struck the hand. Instead of breaking, the shadow absorbed it. Hope stepped forward. You can't defeat it with strength. Then how? You must reach its heart. I thought the nightmare heart was the heart. Hope nodded. It is, but someone is protecting it. The warrior looked toward the horizon. And he's coming. The air became cold. Snow began falling upward. Footsteps echoed across space. A tall figure wearing black armor appeared between the towers. His helmet hid his face. A crimson cape flowed behind him without wind. He carried a sword darker than night itself. I have waited a very long time. Ahmed pointed the silver blade. Who are you? The knight slowly removed his helmet. His eyes glowed gold. My title. He paused. Is the 8th ruler. Hope gasped. Impossible. There were only 7. There were. The knight smiled. I was erased. The dreaming shook violently. The last nightmare laughed again. The forgotten one has returned. Without warning, the 8th ruler disappeared. Ahmed barely had time to lift the sword before another blade crashed against it. The impact created a shockwave that split mountains in half. Ahmed slid backwards. The 8th ruler attacked again. Faster. Stronger. Every strike carried memories instead of force. Ahmed suddenly remembered things that had never happened. Victories he had never won. Friends he had never met. Dreams he had never dreamed. His mind blurred. Hope shouted, "Don't believe the false memories." Ahmed closed his eyes. He remembered Muhammad Hassan, the boy who had become the first saver. The child everyone feared would become evil. The child who instead saved the dreaming. Ahmed smiled. I remember the truth. The false memories shattered. Light burst from the sword. The 8th ruler stepped back for the first time. So, you inherited more than the blade. Ahmed charged. Steel met shadow. Silver met black. Every clash echoed across millions of dreams. Above them, the last nightmare watched silently. Then something impossible happened. The sword spoke. Not to Ahmed, to the 8th ruler. You were never forgotten. The knight froze. His sword slipped from his hand. A single tear rolled down his face. He looked toward the endless darkness. I only wanted someone to remember my name. The last nightmare roared. Its voice shook every dream. Do not listen. Black chains burst from the sky and wrapped around the eighth ruler.